Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm the Coins Monster. What's up guys? Thank you for tuning in. Alright, red day in the markets. So let's study live. Alright, so any of you who watched my videos previously, I did mention there's a big chance we get another drop. Right, we were going to break that 43k level. Well, it was very likely, not a guarantee, but very likely we were going to break it. Okay, so I'm going to recap a little bit on why I thought that was going to happen and what can we expect from Bitcoin now and in the coming weeks. Alright, but I'm gonna get into the chat first and say hello to my people. What's up guys? Really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming. If you have any list of altcoins you want me to look at, please don't shy and type it in the chat box. Okay, I will make a list and I will go through them one by one in detail where you can find your possible entries, the very accurate ones or as accurate as they can be. Alright, type in one in the chat box if you can hear me okay, if the sound is good and you can see my screen properly. Alright. Ozzy, my man, welcome, brother. Eddie DC. Alright, gracias por venir, amigo. Gracias por venir. Yo, Moonboy. Yo, guys, check out Moonboy, Cryptoholics Anonymous. He's a pretty cool dude. He's an Elliott Wave guy, but he knows his stuff. Alright. So look him up into the Telegram groups as well. He's a pretty decent guy too. So that was really count for me, you know. Good people around in the community. And you can respect and learn quite a bit. Alright. Yeah, Dragon Man. We'll take a look at it in a minute. And yeah, definitely check him out. Cryptoholics Anonymous. Alright. Moonboy is his channel. Yo, Moonboy, type your Telegram link if you've got one for free, right? Type it in the chat box, alright? I'll get some people in there. Just last week, I was invited to a very, very beautiful community. It's a small one, but it's a brilliant community. You know, some people do the research on the project, so they do some TA. So we got the short-term traders, mid-term traders, long-term traders, but above all, respect and integrity, and that is what I value the most. Okay, so I'm very grateful I got to be a part of it. A friend invited me in, and I'm really lucky, to be honest. All right, so before we get into the altcoins, I want to get into Bitcoin. Okay, I'm going to remove the indicators because at this point I honestly don't think we'll need them. Okay, because price action is king, we all know that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you this chart. This is from back in 2017 and 2018. Alright, so when I went back to it, I saw this little structure. Okay, and this is where we were right now. Bitcoin holding 41 and 43k. Okay, so right here 43k was looking a bearish pattern. Now I drew this for the people in my Telegram group as well, and I made it quite simple, to be honest. We had a complex head and shoulders, a big one, and aside from that big one, we had a massive one. Okay, so the bigger chance for it to go in any direction was to the downside. Now if you get multiple heads and multiple shoulders, that's a complex head and shoulders. Okay, now aside from this, clear bear flag. Alright, now I broke to the downside. Now I did not take any trades personally, nor I posted any trades even for scalps, and that was mainly because of these two candles right here. Okay, these two candles. Now, it broke down, indecision, bearish retest on 2 4-hour closes. No way I'm taking any trades. There is no way. And aside from this, all this bearishness right here, you had a descending triangle. It was going to break the support eventually. Alright, so just got to be patient at this point. It has taken out critical levels. So it took out this one. It took out this one. And with all the bearish pattern there is going on, honestly, trading is a bit risky. Right? On top of this, we're going to zoom out a little bit. You got this falling channel. Okay? And take a look in this falling channel. And this is something that most people miss. Right? They're longing small divergences, and it's not really worth it. Okay, these are all bear market patterns. Every single one of them is a bear market pattern because Bitcoin is in its bear market structure. Okay, as a whole, it's in a bear market structure. So what you will get mostly, even though there is a divergence, is a bear market pattern. So you get the Bart Simpsons mostly. Okay, bear market equals Bart Simpsons, no matter how big the divergence is in the smaller time frames. Okay, so risk management will be essential at this point, at this stage of the cycle. Now, what I'm looking at for Bitcoin is a higher low retest and a confirmation. Okay, I don't know where it's going to drop. Honestly, I don't. Nobody can predict the bottom. Nobody can predict the top. I said it before and I'll say it again. And it can just easily come down and just bounce off of 40,000, 41,000. Okay, just as easy. We don't know. But given the bearishness, I would look for 38, 36, and even if it doesn't hold 38, 36, I would go down to 34k. Okay, that's even a possibility. I will not deny that. But I know I sound really bearish. I'm not bearish at all. Okay, on Bitcoin, I think there's going to be a retracement to the upside, and what we're looking at is this: a giant bull flag when people will be panicking and going across, you know, just crazy selling everything on. We're going to see a 58k Bitcoin again, 58 to 60,000. That has been my target ever since Bitcoin started dropping, but just needed to be patient. Okay, now you can find the confluences here. Okay, we'll get the one touch here, two touch here, one touch at the bottom trend line, second touch, and this drop will eventually touch the bottom trend line and give us a 3-touch confirmation and then blast off to the upside. Okay, yeah man, 40,100, it sounds like a good idea, to be honest, a perfect retrace, but anything can happen at this point. Now the measured move of the bear flag from different angles, the bare minimum is 38k. Okay, so we don't know. We just need a confirmation of print on a higher low. It's just, now that I look at it as well closely, take a look at this. Okay, people won't see it off the bat, but it's happening. It's around the top. Okay, now rounded tops, they go to the downside, but what they eventually do, they come back all the way down here and then bounce. Okay, so we have to wait, be patient, and see if the 39,600 level is not broken. If that is broken, you're gonna see 38k. Man, honestly, I would not look for a short right now. The short would have been anything at 42k, 43k, even 40, yeah, just 40k, 42k. That would have been a perfect short. If you're looking for a short position right now, no go. Because the move is already made, it's already started. And you don't know which way it's gonna go. It can easily bounce and just come back to liquidate you. Okay, it's gonna happen just as fast. It can even just wick and then keep falling down. So it's gonna liquidate you, get your money, and then come back down. Okay, So let it play out right now. And the best play, in my opinion, is going to be just, instead of shorting it, wait for a nice long position. Okay, because at that long position, what you will get is a bounce and then a double bounce at a higher low, and that would be absolutely terrific. You know what? Instead of going scalping short and longs, you can just stick to one angle and just long it all the way from this breakout wherever it does happen, or the higher low, and just go straight to 55 and 58k and just close your long position around there somewhere. You'll make the same amount of money, it'll just be less stressful. Okay, that's my humble opinion, of course, but if you want to look for a position now, honestly, it's too risky. Like, risk to reward ratio in trading is essential. But if you want to look for a position when this is already made, you're most likely to be losing your money. Yeah, and I don't like for people to lose money, so, you know, I gotta be honest with you. Right? Okay. Now, look at this. The stochastics are bottoming out. Now, one other thing I had why Bitcoin was gonna drop was the confluence with the indicators, specifically the RSI. Okay, we had a shoulder, head, shoulder, and inside that we had a double shoulder as well. Okay, so that was a complex head and shoulders with a rising broadening wedge. It was gonna break down eventually because it had bearish divergence as well. Okay, now it's a giant falling wedge. I don't know where it's gonna come back to bottom, but if it breaks down into the pattern again, it's gonna see about 38k, 40k. Okay, that's the level, and then eventually break to the upside. Okay, so that's Bitcoin, but this was main reason why I thought Bitcoin was gonna drop. Okay, this drop right here caught every single person by such a big surprise, and the panic sell on the altcoins became so big, it was insane. Okay, so I just wanted people to be safe, just in case that happened. Just put the stop losses in, even if you don't take profits of your trade. Just keep it simple. You know, if you get stopped out, well, no biggie. At least you won't lose the money. Alright, now I don't know where Bitcoin is going to drop, what price to, and give the third touch on the trend line. Okay, but what I meant earlier was this. Okay, now we got the one touch right here. Okay, we have the one touch, two touch, and three touches of the trend line eventually of that drop. So that's what I'm expecting over here on Bitcoin. Okay, so right, we're gonna take a look at Dragon Chain from a man right here. Okay. Dragon Chain. I think this has potential, dude. I honestly do. Now, even though this has bounced right here, okay, I think this does have potential. Although, I think it could take a month or two to play out. Let me take a look at the weekly first. Now, the weekly is good. The weekly is honestly good. Hold on, let me get this straight right here. Okay, the weekly is good. Bullish divergence is happening. This is a bounce. Okay, this will basically mark the bottom for you. But what I would expect, and this is what I saw on Litecoin as well, on the weekly chart. Okay, this is usually happens. You're gonna get a little accumulation right here before it goes to the upside. All right. So Dragon Chain does look good, and I would definitely start taking some profits around 500 or 600%. That will be the first main take profit target. Okay, why? Because it's a key inflection level right here, and I would not risk it, even though I know it can go potentially higher. But at this stage of the cycle, aiming anything above a 10x is a bit risky. So you're buying at the bottom. Okay, the risk is very low, but when it gets to this point, the risk is going to be at least 4 times as much. So I would start taking profits 500 to 600% and then let it go. You can leave 25% in there just in case it wants to go higher, which I doubt, honestly, because the weekly is going to be tired at that point. But yeah, it does look good. Definitely looks good. Got the all confirmations right here. Higher low on the RSI, double bottom on the stochastics, low bullish divergence on the histogram, extending all the way to November 2020. Okay, it's good. So it has its crash, it has a retrace, and then went back down for reaccumulation. Do you know what though? If you want to study this pattern, you can also look at the XVG Bitcoin chart. Okay? And XVG Bitcoin did the same thing. Right before it blasted off to the upside in a big way. I'm seeing very, very, very big similarities right here. Okay, so this definitely has potential. Okay? Definitely has potential. Although this is the rounded bottom as well. So, yeah. 25% I would leave when my profit's gone up like 6x. If it wants to keep going up, well, then it can go up. But I highly doubt it goes all the way up to the upside because, as I said, key inflection point here. You got another one there. And I don't think it will do anything more than a 20x. Okay, this cycle at least. Because that's what they usually do. Alright? So that's Dragon Chain for you. So I think you can get another bounce like around 220, maybe 200 Satoshis if you want to look for an entry. That will be the first entry I would make. The first. Okay, build a small position size as it goes along sideways. Okay? Because we do have a breakout on the weekly. Okay? But what usually happens with the breakout is they all go a little bit back down again. Retest the trend line, come back down a little bit more, and then just reaccumulate. Alright, FTM. Let's take a look at FTM. Now, FTM, do you looking to accumulate or are you looking to just get out of the trade? What is your idea here? Okay, because my thinking on FTM is a little bit different at this point. Alright, Will, just let me know what you're thinking on FTM. Okay. I'm going to start with the RSI on FTM. Okay. What I'm seeing right here is bearish divergence in a big way. Okay. That's the first thing I'm seeing. Second, you got the head and shoulders. Okay. It's not good. It's a bearish pattern. Twice. Okay, so the bearish divergence, head and shoulders is not a good idea. Now also, you got a double top. Okay, good thing is it doesn't have a tweezer top at this point, but it's still bearish divergence. Okay, and you can see that on the histogram as well. Like this move should have been bigger, but I don't think it has the strength left in it anymore. Okay, I think it's going to come down, maybe do a triple top right here, but there's something called a Wyckoff distribution. I think this can play out in this little range, okay? But eventually come back down. I think FTM is done for this cycle. But the key play is to get out of it. Okay, yeah, Phantom is a great project, man. I really do like it, okay? But you know what, when I look at this, what I see is Bitcoin. Okay, I'll show that to you in a minute. But when I take a look at this, I see Bitcoin. So it went up to 64K, came back down, went up to 69K, and then started coming down again. Alright. When I take a look at this with bearish divergence, and that's on the weekly time frame as well, and it's not only that, it's just extending all the way back here. Okay, so that's in March 21st. Okay, and we're almost in March 2022, so it's about a year worth of bearish divergence. I would not risk holding it for the remainder of the bull cycle as much because Phantom has had its move. Okay, honestly, if you gotta think as well, how much percentage it has done from the bottom. Okay, so let's take a profile from 5 cents. It's done a 50x, 60x almost. Okay, to the top. Okay, almost a 60x. So from here on, it does anything bigger, it just seems a bit risky. And I would just watch it. Okay, now one key thing to know to exit is the parabola. Okay, once this thing is broken, it's gonna go down. Okay, but honestly, right here it's time to take some profits. Okay, not to risk it too much. Time to take some profit. Yeah, people can say it's gonna go to $10. Yeah, but no one can guarantee you when it's going to $10. Yeah, it's a great project. Yes, it's going to do big things, but can you guarantee me with the bearish divergence going back a year is going to go to $10 this cycle? Well, if I have no guarantee, I made my money. Honestly, I would start thinking to take some profits. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna look at the daily though. Let's see what daily has in store for me. Okay, let's pull the fibs right here. Now, I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna start building a rising wedge. Okay. Now, people don't see it yet, but it's slanted head and shoulders as well. Okay. So that's the way it goes. I'm gonna delete the background a bit so you can take a clear view. Okay. It's slanted head and shoulders. You gotta have an eye for this, but it's there. And as we saw on the weekly time frame, it's printed already. Okay, so just like we saw right here, it's printed the same thing. Okay, but just slanted. Now, bearish div, let it come down. Watch for this trend line to break. Possibly, not a guarantee, but possibly. Okay, so if this does not hold this trend line, the price around 264 is gonna come way down. Okay, definitely gonna come way down, and I would look to find an entry for FTM. Maybe around 211, 196. I think that can play out. Okay. Now, there are a couple of theories I have with this thing. Okay, I'm gonna delete all this. I'm gonna quickly show you something that has played out in the past. Okay. Now, why do I say it can actually come back down? Well, I'm gonna take this. Go back to FTM. I'm gonna post it right here. Okay. So if this thing fits with the bearish divergence, I think it has a big chance of playing out, which means sideways and a downtrend for a couple of months for Phantom. Okay, or for the remainder of the cycle, I don't know. It just remains to be seen. Okay. It's kind of an idea. Fractals don't exactly fit precisely from a different coin, but they sometimes do work out. Okay. Honestly, I would do, besides it's a bearish bat pattern as well. Okay. It's a bearish bat pattern. If I can find this thing out, A, B, C, D, E. I'm just gonna give it a shot right here. But okay, so the next thing it would come back down. Okay. So it goes in waves. So it has the first wave, second wave. Now we'd have to see where it stops. Okay. But given the double top, I think it's gonna break down. Okay, that's FTM. Besides, one other thing that I've noticed, you always take a look at the fib extensions every single time. Okay. Now Now Phantom has hit the 4.236 roundabout, as close as it can, but it has hit it. All right. Well, actually, it did. It did hit it right to the T right here. 350. Okay, when it does that, I think twice about holding it. Doesn't matter if it gives me 100% from here. But I mean, to be honest, there's so many coins that are going to give you 200-300%. I don't know if it's worth it though, you know? Now the other coin is Luna, that has a similar structure. Okay. What Luna concerns me a little bit is the parabola. Okay, I think this is the final time it's going to break it. All right, and mainly because it has the same bearish divergence as Phantom does. Now I have to see where it bounces, but again, the bearish pattern and the trend line, if they don't hold, this thing is done. Yeah, it's gonna go back to retracement around 50 bucks, and I would look for an entry there. Okay, that depends on right now. If this drop holds, great. If it doesn't, it's off. It's going to come back down to maybe about 62, 63, and I would look for it to bounce around about there somewhere. Okay, but sometimes it's just the simple trend lines, and that can give you the idea. Okay, also people, when I told people that this is going to make a head and shoulders on Veracity, they thought I was forcing it, but actually I wasn't. It can easily come back down to the bottom trend line and go to 62 bucks. Okay, so it's all there on the bearish divergences. Okay, now I made this for a friend as well. Yo, Moonboy, I don't know if you're watching. That's what I wanted to show you. All right, it's a descending triangle. Okay, it's a descending triangle. Now, yeah, it can be a falling wedge as well, but I don't think it has completed yet. Okay, it needs to come back down, and from here bounce a little bit. And I would only look for a 20 to 30% bounce from this position, because it's a bit too risky, okay, to keep holding it, right? Because I think it can easily come back down to this place. Okay, test this bottom right here, higher low, and then this will be another higher low as well. So that's what I will look for, and it will coincide. You see, the trend line crosses, there's a diagonal cross right here. This could be the higher low for the next bottom. That would mean the price can actually come back down. Now, what I think it can happen as well is Veracity. Okay, this is the top for Veracity. Look what happened. Okay, now this might actually fit perfectly. I'm gonna take this fractal. I'm gonna put it on Luna. So any of you guys out there holding Luna with an idea, you gotta watch. Okay, see if this thing actually does hold. All right, so look at this, it's almost identical. Okay, so watch this thing, right? It might actually come back down to 50 bucks, 60 bucks, and test a higher low. Yo, Casanova, thanks, man. James, thanks for coming in, buddy. Yeah, man, it's what we do, right? Help the community out. And actually helping people is how I get better, so I should be thanking you. You know. Yeah, thank you guys for coming in, man. I really appreciate it. Alright, I'm gonna give a glance on Bitcoin before we get started on something else. See what this is doing. It's so painful, and it's such a drag. Honestly, it just doesn't make it easy for us, does it? Okay, now bear in mind, even though this will drop, and there is a full moon tomorrow, by the way, bear market structure with full moon we have seen before. There was one last month, and it just kind of only played it out maybe this much. Okay, so we don't know. It has to drop first and then build this structure before it can go on to do this. Okay, it can take a bit of time. Honestly, it can take a bit of time. Right now it's just a patience play. Okay, it's simply a patience play. Okay. Now, I'm going to be making a few videos. One of them actually should be coming out either later tonight or tomorrow. It's on a gaming project. I think it has a potential to do maybe a 10x. Right? Alright, tips. Man, honestly, first thing I would do is learn to chart the patterns. Okay? There are so many. You see this structure right here? Now what I see personally is this. Okay? This is what I see. This is called an Adam and Eve. Okay? So that's the pattern. Now, there are so many more. Okay? Let me show you on C98. Actually, that will be the perfect one. I want to take this as a trade as well. So, I'm going to show you this on daily. Bull flags, rising wedges, falling wedges. It's a lot better just to start learning the patterns, because when you start to learn the patterns, you start to see them, it becomes easier to kind of spot the entries. And then, yeah, take a look at this. Okay. Now, this typically is a bull flag. Okay. It's a bull flag. Clear-cut bull flag. It usually goes to the upside, but it depends on Bitcoin, right? So I thought Bitcoin was going to drop. That's why I made a note here. If it depends on the Bitcoin drop. If it drops to 2, it's going to print a higher low. So you need to learn the basics. Higher lows, higher highs, lower highs, higher lows, head and shoulders, bullish patterns on it, bull flags, falling wedges, again like bear flags, bear pennants. Learn those, okay? And once you do, it's going to become easier. All right? And always make sure that you have a good enough risk to reward ratio. And because even if the coin goes down a little bit, but you know the payout is going to be like 300%, you can afford to make a stop loss for about 20%. And that trade can go on for a month. And if Bitcoin drops 10%, your altcoin is going to drop 15%, you still won't get stopped out. Right? Yeah, the fix from September. And look at this. Honestly, let it play out wherever it needs to play out, okay? Now, I've mentioned it before, right? I don't know where it's going to play out, right? I don't know where it's going to bottom. But the best place to get your entries for the altcoins, which I think alt season is usually going to come, is right here, okay? Actually, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete a little bit of that. Let's remove a couple of indicators. Keep the chart as clean as possible. Right. Leave this note right here. Okay. So wherever it wants to bounce from, if it bounces from here, from the previous wick at 40k in September, okay, fine. Where do you get your entries? Just look for entries down in here. Okay. If it drops and then bounces, okay, if it drops, look, if it goes to 38k, then you start accumulating. Okay, just don't even think about the breakout, just start accumulating right there and there. When it gets to here, if it does, expect countless bearish news. Okay, countless bearish news, just accept it. And that's when you accumulate. All right, don't even bother thinking about, oh, I should DCA now on that. Just wait for a confirmation. That's either the breakout right now of this channel or bounce from 38k, 34k. Just start accumulating then. Don't even wait for the news to come out. Okay, block it out of your head. You don't have to watch the channels, look at the news on the coins. No, just pick out your favorite coins and let it go. Right. Now VeChain, this is a coin that you can get into. Okay. Actually, I can't remember what chart was it. Let's see if we can find a Binance one. I already had done some work on it. Anyways, I'll do it again. It's alright. But let's go with Binance. Alright. VeChain. I think it can definitely come back down even here, right here, 5.5 cents. Okay? This is an example. 5.5 cents. Alright? I'm thinking it can come down to, but I would accept it at 6.2 cents, 6.4. Okay, that is a coin that you can risk DCAing into, okay, at that price. Okay, now the reason why I'm saying it is the BTC pair. Okay, it's been down right here. This, look at this, the work. I've already had this. All you need sometimes, this is an answer for you. Okay, when you learn the patterns, you will easily be able to just view certain things. Okay, now you don't need a messy chart, you don't need a million indicators sometimes, and just do this, just the one simple trend line. Okay, and when you do that, you know it's going to break out, because when you have the trend line done, look at this. This is a clear structure of accumulation. Okay, this is opposite to what Bitcoin is currently doing. Right, this is accumulation on the BTC pair. So people are slowly putting money into it. All right, and there we go. So even if it comes down a bit, like to 155 Satoshis, that's going to be the capitulation. But I think the capitulation is already done. But hey, better price. And it will come down to a clear inflection point right here. Okay? And that's it. That will be it. It's at the end of the wedge. Indicators are low. Daily is getting low. Okay? Confluence. There we go. That's the one on WeChat. Okay? There you go. That's a falling wedge right there. Confluence number 1. Price. Indicators are coming down. Stochastics. Histogram. Perfect. Now this is one of the best places to find an entry. Okay? Breakout. Back test of a higher low. And then off. Okay? We don't know where it's going to go though. But hypothetically speaking, let's find out the targets for VeChain. Okay, I think it's gonna go back to a double top. Where is the price tool? There you go, 176, 200% gains. That's what you can expect out of it. Okay, now why I'm saying it will bounce. There you go. Okay, the parabolas. Alright, now unless this thing breaks to the downside, I think it can go back up. Okay, so watch this thing. And okay, I'm gonna look at one of these coins for a member of my Telegram group. He asked me for AVAX. Alright, so AVAX. AVAX is done. Okay, it's clear cut done. The answer is simple. It's a descending triangle. Okay. This has to come down, okay? It has a bit more move. I need to see the histogram right here to come back down to the 0 level. Okay, and then see what it does. But honestly, when this happens, the move to the downside is biggest. Okay, so dude, if you're watching, keep this on your radar. Expect AVAX to hit around $60. Okay, now let me quickly compare it to FTT. because I think FTD did the same thing. Okay, yeah, it went to about 80 bucks, made the descending channel, and it's done. Okay, so actually push it up there so you get the clear touches, and right, so it did the same thing, and it came all the way back down to even 31 bucks, man. I'll watch this thing. Okay, so AVEX is a good ecosystem. This dude actually wants to get into the Wonderland Time NFT and the gaming project, but I think you can get it cheaper. Okay, start looking for it at 70 bucks and maybe 58 to start with, and then we see what happens. Right. Sorry, let me go back and see if you guys are looking for any other coins. Oh yeah, you asked for AVEX. Yeah, many people have asked for AVEX, man. Alright, so now I'm gonna mention something to you. Okay, watch these double tops. Okay, watch these double tops. The weeklies are getting tired now, and if you've been holding a coin for a while, you've made your 10x, start taking profits. Now do watch this coin though. Okay, ADA. Now the reason why I'm mentioning this, okay, we got this thing going up in here. Alright, it's doing that, and the reason why I'm asking to keep ADA on your radar, because number one, it's a big traded coin on futures. Second, it has a great fundamental analysis on it. Okay, it's a Web3 security project. I think it has potential to go. Okay, so let me quickly check this first for you. Okay, so went back up, got rejected by the 702, came back down. Right, this is basically a one-to-one retrace, or as close to it. Alright, so this thing will eventually accumulate and bounce, and you can make pretty decent trade out of it. Okay, so watch ADA, because it has a lot of volume. Okay, it has a lot of volume, and Link is one of those coins that I've been tracking. Okay, now the reason why is this fractal right here. Okay, now this fractal looks a bit better on daily once it's played out, but okay, there we go. Okay, this is going to be a slow mover, but once it's broken out, I think it's going to do well. Now I think this is where we are in this fractal right here. Okay, you might be able to get it around 20 bucks again at a higher low, and then eventually break it out. Okay, but from that price onwards, 353% gains. Now this fractal is from sand. Okay, this fractal is from sand. So sand was quiet almost for a year. Link has been quiet ever since May of 21. Okay, so it's almost a year since it's been quiet. Okay, so watch this, and plus with all the security, Web3 games, Web3 security coming out, and Web3 data that is going to be needed, oracles are going to be big, and Chainlink is the mother of oracles. Okay, it provides the cross-chain data and off-chain data as well. So watch for Link. I think this can do some potential in the coming days, or months actually, sorry. Harmony, many other people are bullish on this thing. Honestly, I would look for a retracement. Okay, I would definitely look for a retracement. It's in a rising wedge, it's gonna break it eventually. Okay, Three tops, three touches, bottom, tops. There's a lot of wick action at the top, which leads me to believe sell pressure is extreme, especially people trading it on futures. They take profits. Stochastics are topped out. RSI is in confluence with the price action. Okay, it's about to break it. This is the same thing what Bitcoin did. And actually, if I look closely, there's a slanted head and shoulders as well on the RSI. So Sunday swap testnet is out on Thursday. Okay, now what I would expect from ADA right here is just go slightly above to about 170. Okay, that would be my expectation, and then flag it out. Okay, that's what I would expect from ADA. Now I have the possible entries here at 1.3, 1.45. Okay, because honestly, getting an entry now is not ideal. You will most likely get sold off quickly. Right? Now Atom, I gave this trade, but I have three possible entry zones right here. Okay, 26.98, 31.64, 35.95. Okay, I knew this was going to be a fake out. I didn't post it for the people yet because that's what they do. They trick you, and that's what they've done in the past. And I think this is going to come back down. Now, it would be a great buy zone to get it around 28 bucks. Okay, 150% gains is not going anywhere. But honestly, what this looks like to me, I want to keep this on your radar, is because Atom has something called an accumulation cylinder structure. Okay, it's on the second stage of his parabolic move, right? And I think the next time it goes, it's gonna fly, and this is gonna be big. Okay, so watch this and keep this on your radar. I think Atom can hit. I think the top is in first at 67 bucks this cycle for Atom. Okay, people saying 100 and 200 bucks, 300 bucks. It possibly can, I just don't think so. Okay, I would take my profits right here. Maybe it goes higher to 80. We just don't know yet. But all these major coins, that all have been rejected at 55, 60 bucks. And I would start to look at this in that direction, okay? Now, why I'm giving you this target is also in confluence with my measured move. Okay, so wherever it bounces from, okay, say if you find an entry at the bottom of my target, 27 bucks, this will be the measured move, 59. Okay, and then if you go to the top right here, that's the measured move, 67. Sometimes they go a bit higher, so let's just take it that way. 74 bucks is the top, all right, for now. And there you go, that's another confluence. Okay, every time there's a third touch after a big move, they get rejected at the top of the trend line. So my bet, I will take profits personally at 60 bucks and be done with Atom. Alright, now one of the coin that's been really popular is Rose. Okay, now I've been working on a theory on Rose, but it depends on Bitcoin play, see how it plays out. That's why I have not posted any entry, okay, for my trading group, because I wanted to see where it bottoms. Okay, now I think Rose needs a little bit more time now. It has to come back down to this parabola here, maybe about 45 cents, 43 cents again, retest the previous all-time highs, and then maybe we can start looking for an entry. But it's on a beautiful parabola, and this is going to be its final move. Okay, I have a target here of 90 cents. Okay, that's my target for Rose. Okay, and we're going to extend them a little bit because Rose is actually quite bullish, but 90 cents is one top, and maybe if it's really bullish, it can go to $1.40. Okay, so watch Rose, but wait for it to come back down to the parabola. Okay, bull flag, falling wedge, some sort of a pattern will be made after a retest on the higher low, maybe a consolidation. Okay, I'm going to draw this projection for you. Now that this is negated, we can delete it. Now remember, patience will be very important in the game. Okay, extremely important, because otherwise many wrong entries can be made and it will just be painful. Okay, because everything will be so dragged out. It's not going to be easy. That's why I did not post any entry on this thing, because I knew if Bitcoin dropped, this is not going to perform well. All the bullishness it has is going to be negated. Okay, so small head and shoulders here. We're going to take the measured move, pull it back down, push to about 41 cents, 42 cents, which is what my expectation was anyways from the previous all-time high of 40, 45, 46. It's going to come back to test it, and then we can watch. Okay, most likely you're going to get some sort of bull pennant right here. Okay, if there is bullish divergence that marks the bottom, we can take the trade. Now it has already had a big giant move. It's getting tired on daily, and there is bearish divergence that is not marked, but people have to see it. Okay, this bearish divergence has to play out. Now I saw this thing on Matic before it dropped from 18 cents to 15, and after it had topped already at 20 cents, bearish divergence played out in this manner. Okay, when people called for a bottom and they didn't want to touch it, I called the play from 20 cents all the way up to 45 cents for Matic. Okay, it was the same structure, but it was easy to understand and wait that the bearish divergence is eventually going to play out, and then we can take another move ahead. And why did I take that trade? This parabola was the reason. Okay, sometimes it's just the one line that makes it easier for you to understand that, okay, which way the trend is going. It's on a parabolic trend. Let's wait and watch. If it doesn't break the parabola, it's good to go to the upside again. Okay, and with Rose, again, measured move, one confluence 73, second confluence is 80 cents. Okay, so from that measured move, from the bottom, you can still get a 79% gains. Okay, so watch for this thing and be patient with your entries. Okay, alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate your time. Stay tuned. More coins will be coming out, and I will be discussing Bitcoin almost every day until it decides to completely stop this bearish structure. Okay, now before we end the stream, we're going to take a look at this. Now it is doing a bearish retest right here. Let's see if this was a fake out and this is the bottom or not. Tonight will tell us more, and tomorrow, which is the full moon, is going to tell us a bit more. Okay, so let's see if there's bullish divergence. Yeah, there is a little bit bullish divergence, but let's see how it looks. Give it maybe 4 or 5 hours to play out, and then we can start making few plays. Okay, but right now Bitcoin is in choppy grounds. Okay, it's the same structure as we had before in the previous bear cycle for Bitcoin, in the previous 2018 cycle. Okay, it all surprised us very much, and then just went on. So I didn't want to get anyone to be surprised here. Panic sell. Okay, we know now we can start making our entries depending on where Bitcoin is going to end its drop. Right? Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate the time. Stay tuned. More videos are coming out. More info is coming out, more trades. If you want to, you can join our free Telegram group. Okay? We do discuss a lot of news, a lot of charts. People are posting info, and It is very, very helpful. It's a great community. It's a small group, but it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's effective, right? Please like the video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You will be notified when I'm on live again or when my new videos are coming out, okay? Stay safe, stay blessed. I'll see you in the next stream.